Hello guys, and welcome to the first in a series that I'm naming Unreal Engine 4 Experimentation and Exploration. In this series I aim to show you different elements of Unreal 4 as I learn about it myself, as I am a major enthusiast but not an expert by any measure whatsoever. So yeah, we'll go through it together, we'll learn things, and also hopefully experience some cool things. For example, this demo. This demo is named Landscape Mountains, and as you might be able to see, it is a small game where you are in a hang glider that has magical powers when it goes through certain snowy little floating discs in the air, which provide it with a boost, and if you don't find any of these discs, you'll find that you'll start to lose speed, especially if you pitch up. This phenomena is known as physics, if you were wondering, but no, seriously, I'm going to die any second, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, yeah, this demo came out with the release of Unreal Engine 4.4, as many of you people who are existing subscribers would know. The brilliant thing about the new engine is that you get a subscription service for $19 per month, which is brilliant, and 5% of your earnings should you actually make a for-profit game. However, what happens with that subscription is pretty much amazing. They continue to release rather semi-regular updates. Hopefully I'll be able to make it over this crest. I don't really want to push it. Oh, that's the edge of the map. Okay, well, we found the edge of the map. This is by no means procedurally generated. There is limits to its size. But, oh, this is interesting. I don't think that was meant to happen. Yeah. We're going to restart that. I am using Shadowplay to record. And I would like to give you a little bit of an insight into the editor. Not that I'm going to explain any of it, because I need to have a look around it myself. But yeah, the thing is, you get... That's really cool how they made that nice and large so you can actually see it. But you get free updates at a semi-regular interval, along with open source demos, such as this one. And I must admit, this one is rather cool, because it features the map that's been created using a plugin called World Machine. The brilliant thing about Unreal Engine 4 being open source is that you can modify it, you can mod it, which is the same thing, you can add in plugins, you can change any part of it you like if you have the capability, and even if you don't, you can break it if you like and then re-download it. And then you can make profit from it. Any part of the engine, unless otherwise stated, of course. And of course, stuff made by other people, for example, the plugins might not be open source, but they can be used. Hey, what is those particles? Oh, never mind. Oh god, we've lost it. Let's even go under a bridge, shall we? Oh no, we can go for that. Come on, I can make this. I wish it was some kind of point system or anything, but oh well. But yeah, like, you can mod any part of it, and make it your own, and from my perspective, people can make amazing tools for it that make your life easier. And World Machine definitely does that. Not only easier, but also increases the quality of your work. And the reason why I'm showing you this demo in particular is actually because I have a personal investment in this style of map and this style of gameplay. I have plans with my good friend Daniel under the name of Deventas, the name of our very small startup company that is beginning to start trading for a game that we are somewhat in development of right now. So yeah, it's really cool to see these kind of updates. And, you know, open world is a thing that has become more popular, but also, yeah, well, not the best physics, but, you know, it's a demo. Yeah, open world is a thing that's becoming more and more popular, and also a thing that's just really being implemented in Unreal properly. Yes, it's happened, you know, several times, but it's not usually been with the vanilla version of Unreal Engine 3, and Unreal Engine 4 came out semi in development. You know, there's a lot of features that they're adding, which is, I think, basically a marketing technique. You know, it's a bit like the early access thing, where you can make people purchase an incomplete thing, and then keep adding things, and it'll make them pay for the subscription. Do you understand what I mean? Kind of makes sense, and I don't really dispute it. I'm pretty much in favour of it after quite a lot of contemplation about it. I don't mind how they're going about it. It's pretty cool. I really do enjoy having these new updates and, you know, new content being available. That's a hard turn. That is a hard turn. I really never know where to go here. I think it's left. So yeah, like, I'm just showing you a little walkthrough of this. I'm running on a pretty beastly system these days. I've got an Intel 4770K and a GTX 780 Ti. 470K is slightly overclocked to 4.2, 4.3, something like that. And the 780 Ti is overclocked rather a lot to a boost clock of 1255 megahertz. And we can almost talk in gigahertz now. I can actually say 1.25 gigahertz, which is kind of cool, I will admit. Hey, I'm spotting these little icy things here. So, you know, the upgrade from Unreal Engine 4, the upgrade from Unreal Engine 3 to Unreal Engine 4 was rather large in terms of post-processing, tessellation being much more supported, you know, a lot of DirectX 11.2 features, things like, oh god, dynamic lighting being much more implemented. I don't know. There's lots of things we could discuss, but particularly in this demo, I would say the terrain is the major factor, of course. But yeah, the rendering in itself and the materials are really nice. You know, I'm looking forward to getting into looking at how they've done these materials, you know, the world painting, and it looks very interesting. I would say the foliage is pretty crap. It's very sparse, which I imagine it could be sparse in a you know, a biome such as this, but it's interesting. The post-processing with the glare and that from the bright sun being reflected off the snow is very nice. I really do like that. It is rather immersive, but the trees just seem to be like little objects that just go pop, pop, especially when you collide with them and they're totally solid. You know, a little polish on these demos would be nice. But where did my FPS counter go? Oh god. There we go. So, you know, I'm running at 1080p 8 times anti-aliasing, and it is from the editor. It's not a built game, so there will be some debug tools there slowing things down, but I think my FPS is rather decent considering, especially when using the editor, you're running ultra everything anyway. So yeah, like, I don't know, I think I'm drawing towards the end of this little demo here, but please let me know if you enjoyed this video. As you can see there's some GPU particle usage for these rings, which is rather nice. I don't know. They could have added a bit more to this game, but hey, in theory, I could add more to this game myself, which is the beauty of this engine. It really is. It might not be the most aesthetically pleasing game, engine, but it is still a massive jump. You know, there's major leaps in the processing and post-processing going on, and you can still make really quite breathtaking scenes. God, I'm losing a lot of speed here. I can't go that way. I imagine that a cool thing about the level design here is that you can just make big mountains, meaning that you'll lose too much speed before you can get up them. And that's kind of a beautiful, kind of soft level boundary, although I did manage to reach the end of it at one point, as we saw. But yeah, it's really interesting to see these different demos. I will be doing other walkthroughs, if you like, of these. If that pleases the viewers, actually, I love the textures here. I'm pretty sure that either these lines in the rocks do either indicative of I don't know, different levels of different rocks and changing materials through the ages as the rocks are formed, or it could actually be, I don't know. I'm not a geologist, but an old water line perhaps from an old lake. I don't know. That's just. Or glacier. I don't know. That's just my own speculation. Very ignorant. I'm not like I say, I'm not a geographical scientist or anything like that. I wonder if there's any options. Is there any options? I know there's camera, which is pretty bad, I will be honest with you. They could do like a chase camera. Like this is, I mean, it makes sense, but it's really, yeah. Pop. It is really nice how high you start off, but I'd love a little bit more flexibility. I love how far the rings the distance is. A major thing for me to get out of this demo that I'll be looking into is the rendering, because it seems like there are dynamic lights or dynamic shadows, but at the same time the performance is great, and like I can't see if there is dynamic shadowing, which at least there is from my little paraglider. I can't see the cutoff point for it. It seems to be very well optimized, which I would hope it would be from an official release. But that, you know, that's where I'm going to learn from, because I've been having some issues with my little experimentation in terms of making a terrain. So it'll be interesting to see the solutions that they came up with for stuff like that. I do love skimming the edges of the terrain, which is a little bit of a code for the game that we're going to be developing and hopefully one day releasing, because I think the sense of speed really comes from being close to the ground, which unfortunately paragliding doesn't really lend itself to so much, I believe. Just, I mean, with the boost here you're able to gain height again, but you know, without that you would really be going down and losing speed every time you went up. Which is fair enough. You know, they say in games, the thing that makes them fun is not the abilities, it's actually the constraints, and working with the constraints. And that's exactly what... those particles flying in your face. I see why they use snow. It's both mundane, you'd have to create tons of assets, but it also has a base level of different phenomena that would go on. For example, these snowy particles in my face. I really wanted to go through there. I wanted to go through that area and check it out. I'm quite annoyed now. So, you know, I hope that you enjoy my ramblings. I think I'll call this Unreal Engine 4 Experimentation, Exploration, and Rambling all the while. I love how there's a little bit of less snowiness over here. In fact, I want to explore this. Is it because of we're closer to sea level or something? It looks like it. Or is it just like a little tree, snowless biome? It's hard to tell. But it reminds me very much of Skyrim. I will admit that, except it's not as dense foliage, probably because it's more cold? I don't know. It looks very much more rocky as well. You know, less dirt on the surface level. You know, when you go through those rings, I just wanted to examine what happens there. Because it seems that when you go through the rings... God, it's a long way to the next ring, I think. Please tell me if I'm being stupid. But it looks... Oh no, there's a ring down there. Let's see what happens. I want to see. It looks like they disappear. Like they go... Well, that's cool. They do a little animation. I would have liked it if when you went in water, you went under the water, but water's a bitch. Well, it's not a bitch, but it's a lot... Oh no, it's ice anyway. Although it does seem very watery. Watery ice. Watery ice! Then again, how can I complain about that when the trees are solid blocks of timber? I can do this. I can do this. I need to start pulling up quite early. I know, it's pretty good. Pretty good. So I hope you've enjoyed my ramblings and my little look of this demo. And if, like I say, if you want to see more of this, please let me know. And if you have any comments about the engine or this demo or my own flying capabilities, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And that's interesting. There's my business email for anyone who wants it. Luckily spambots, oh, for God's sake. Luckily spambots can't usually troll YouTube videos, so I'm not too worried about that. But I didn't want to give anyone any ideas. At the same time, I have my own filters in place, so if you really want to, I'm not suggesting you do, but I won't be too upset if you try. So yeah guys, please, let me know what you think of this video. Let me know if I should do a little bit more editing, but I don't usually like to edit myself so much because I don't really know what to cut out, etc. Oh, I miss that. But if you do want me to do more editing, then please let me know, and I will pay a bit more attention towards that. But yeah, guys, this has been NJD Fisher, or Nathaniel, for FK Productions, supposedly, signing out.